But for millions of American children and their families, violent crime is a part of everyday life. When a high poverty community develops a high rate of violence, it's as if it locks in that poverty. Everyone who can leave a neighborhood with a high rate of violence does. This includes people and businesses. And the people who are left behind are those who are the least able to move, and ultimately the ones whose children become the least economically mobile and trapped in that cycle of poverty. Violence drives out opportunity, it drives out residents, and it drives out businesses, leaving behind basically the least economically mobile, the most economically vulnerable, basically the people who can't leave. And this turns communities that not only have to deal with violence and poverty to begin with, into communities that have to deal with those things at an almost systematic level. For the last 2.5 years, we have been conducting research, working with state and local officials, and partnering with community organizations, law enforcement, and business leaders to try to drive down crime in the most vulnerable neighborhoods in the cities and states that we serve. We do this first by analyzing what's going on the ground. Everything from trends in things like homicides, non-fatal shootings, and carjackings, to trends in sentencing. We then bring that information to stakeholders and elected officials, and then we work to change policy. We know what works in this space. We have decades and decades of evaluations of practices from across the country. And so what we do is work with those state and local officials to enact best practice in the relevant areas. So at the city level, this typically involves things like law enforcement, cleaning and greening vacant lots, dealing with inadequate street lighting. At the state level, this is primarily a question of state laws, penalties, and helping to aid in reentry for those who are coming back to the community after serving a prison term. We do that here in Georgia. We do it in a number of other states and localities, and we hope to grow that. We know how to take an unsafe community and make it safe. And not just for the sake of fewer victims, but because a safe community is the first step to a prosperous community. If we care about job opportunities, about a high quality education, and about a stable family, that starts with a safe community.